Blistering sunshine greets us here in Cheshire for round 3 of the Euro F1 Sidecar Challenge. Welcome to Oulton Park.
We're in Oulton Park in Cheshire for round 3 of the Eastern Airways Formula 1 Sidecar Championship. The Battle of Britain is 27 degrees of hot sunshine here as we look forward to a fantastic day's racing. 2.6 mile historic circuit here at Oulton, where the sidecars are always greeted well by the massed fans. Let's look back to the earlier round 2, the last round we had at Snetterton, and the highlights of that. And it was straight away the Birchells on the number 1 outfit. You can see there was all sorts of trouble and carnage going on with Tim Reeves and Gregory Kluser, as we've had so far in the early rounds of the year. The battle between those two, the current Grand Prix World Championship leaders as well. Both teams fighting for World Championship honours and battling for this as well. This means just as much of them to come out number 1 in the domestic series as well. The rain came down and the race was red flagged temporarily before we had the restart in sunshine again. It just shows the good old British weather was having an effect on the round there. On board camera here we see typical sidecar action with plenty going on there. Up front it is Reeves and Kluser though, who are at the head of the field on one of the fastest parts of the Snetterton circuit. And there go the Birchells into second place, just as we said, the championship being fought out between those two. Third place though, as the battle goes through there, you can see across the line first of all it is for the Birchells from Reeves and Kluser, but third place was the fast starting pairing of Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas. Celebrations all round at the end of Snetterton round 2. The second race though in better weather, as you can see, but drama was to come later on in this race as it unfolds. It is Reeves and Kluser this time who got out of the gate first, the number 77 outfit. The leaders of the championship coming into this round 2 at Snetterton, and they were off and away at the front. You can see the onboard camera under the bridge there, but you can see the action is so fast as we go right round. But at the front it was the usual suspects, and the racing was red hot, and you can see for yourselves how tight it is and how much action there were. There was paint being swapped left, right and centre between these two. Down across the line they go one more time, and it's neck and neck for the whole race as we go through for first and second positions. Further down we had the number 16 Andy Peach and his passenger Richardson there as they go through, but coming into the final part of the race, in amongst the tail enders, there is the contact we were talking about, and Birchells round the outside and they get flipped over upside down, with passenger Tom being flicked out of the sidecar, but unfortunately Ben, the driver, is wedged under the sidecar outfit. So a victory in the end for Tim Reeves and Greg Kluser. Thankfully, both of the Birchells shaken but not too stirred and get to their feet. Well, Tim Reeves there shaking his head, but that's racing, and they both came away. There are the standings after race 2, with Reeves and Kluser on 140 points, some distance ahead of the Birchells, but Schofield and Thomas there, a good third place, with Andy Peach and Richardson on 77 in 4th. So you can see the championship is hotting up already, even after 2 rounds. This one is going to go right down to the wire. Big shout in 18th place there for Roger Boddy and Lee Barrett, the driving forces behind this Eastern Airways Championship. But the big news of the weekend is the non-appearance of the Birchells, courtesy of a huge accident at the recent Croatian round of the World Championship, which they were leading coming into Croatia. In a repeat of the accident at Snetterton in round 2, where, as you see here, the outfit was flicked upside down and driver Ben ended up trapped underneath the sidecar. He has now done the same thing in Croatia and unfortunately sustained serious back injuries. Passenger Tom is here to tell us all about it.
I just got Tom Birchall here, and unfortunately, obviously, with the accident that occurred at Croatia last week, tell us how yourself and your brother are getting on.
All right, thank you. Just healing steadily. Just it was one of them crashes that shouldn't really have happened, but it did. But the main problem was Ben's back. When the outfit came upside down, he went along the track and took the leather away and then took the skin away. So he's looking at an operation in the next couple of days to get that right.
It's a terrible shame, obviously, you're not here. When do you think you might be both back on the outfit?
Well, the next main round is the World Championship, which is in Sachsenring in 3 weeks. So we need to be fit and ready to get back and do that, and then obviously finish off this championship and try and get some points back and some good results here.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Tom, and we'll see you at Cadwell Park.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Well, here we are in the Sidecar Paddock, and you may be wondering why I've got a motorcycle helmet in my hand. Well, you may remember a few rounds ago, 10 times world champion Steve Webster promised me that he'd take me round a circuit. Well, it's a bit late now, I can't back out. Steve, please be gentle with me.
Yeah, don't be nervous, you'll be all right, I'm sure. It's been about 5 years since I've been on one, so it might not be that fast.
Filling me with confidence as usual. First of all, though, I believe we've got someone here with us that'll be able to talk me around what I've actually got to do to hang on the thing.
Yeah, that's right. James is going to show you now what you need to do and where you need to hang on. Basically, if you lose all your grip or whatever, just try and hang on with your teeth. There's a little bit there where you can give it that. You'll be all right, I'm sure.
Brilliant. Well, here it is, time to learn. Well, here we go. Wish me luck. So then, off I went around Oulton Park, and a big thanks to James Neve for teaching me what to do, although I must confess all I could do was just hold on for dear life for most of the lap. I'll also say a big thanks to Andy Peach, who were on board with here just following myself, and 10 times champion Steve Webster for lending me his leathers at short notice. So we've gone around Old Hall Bend, the first corner, and this is Cascades on the left. A lovely long sweeping left-hander which should take you up towards the lakeside, the reason being there is a lake just on your left through here. Now Steve Webster did tell me just to hang on for this one, sit still. Hopefully next time I'll be able to move around a bit, but this here, very quick left-hander. As you can see, there's some oil there, and that's Island Bend, as Steve Webster just goes over that oil and into Shell Oils, aptly named, in fact, at this precise moment in time. This hairpin is banked right over, and you can really feel this on the back of a sidecar. One of the things that we do notice most about being a passenger is the braking is absolutely incredible. Having done solo racing, the speed wasn't so much of an issue, but as we head into chicanes, you really feel the G-force. Left, right, this is into Folkestones. And then a blind crest here over the hilltop. Sidecar outfits should be just about clicking into top gear before they break into the sharpest and newest part of the circuit here at Oulton Park, which is of course Hizzies. Right in, then a left, and then it's on the power. Passenger will be leaning right over to the right hand side of the outfit here around Knickerbrook. On the way up the hill then, we go into Clay Hill. Now this part of the circuit really does get tricky for a passenger, and you're really hanging on as we head into the woods and into Druids. We just clip the apex on the left there, and then it's almost a double apex right-hander. The passenger will be leaning right over onto the right-hand side of the outfit, just above the rear wheel, and then it's hard on the power underneath Warwick Bridge. Ready to head into the final turn of the circuit. Great place for overtaking this into Lodge. Again, passenger right over on the left there, and the passenger will have to change positions quite quickly as they make their way over Deer's Leap and then back onto the start-finish straight. And that is, of course, your lap of Oulton Park. Oh my god! Well, I can't even get my helmet off. That was one of the most unbelievable experiences I've ever had in my entire life, and I advise anybody to give it a go. Absolutely incredible. But I think I'm going to need to change my pants.
Well, respect to you, Steve, for going through that ordeal. Meanwhile, he's changed and now in the paddock talking to some of our championship contenders.
Just grabbed Brian Pedder from the paddock. Brian, a topsy-turvy Snetterton, but you're here at Oulton Park, a circuit that you enjoy. You're looking for good things.
Oh, we're always looking for good things, yeah. And it doesn't get much better from Oulton Park, does it? Fantastic day. Turnout of bikes, fantastic. And some good racing ahead of us.
Obviously, it's unfortunate that the Birchells aren't here to play, but it does mean that there's an ideal opportunity for the likes of yourselves and other teams to maybe get that podium place this weekend.
We're always looking for podium. We always give it 100%. It's a shame what's happened with Tom, and we wish him well and a speedy recovery. And I'm sure he'll be back, fighting back soon. And yeah, let's get it on a bit today. Let's have a bit of fun, eh?
And you must have stacks of people to thank.
I've got some good folks coming on board. I've got all my original sponsors who've stuck by us through thick and thin, like Roy Howell, Johnny Milne, Gary Johnson and Jeb's Engine Tuners. But also we're very excited with Motorbike Accident Law. They're coming on board, and we're all looking forward to it, and things look really quite promising. And hopefully we can give them the goods.
Well, thanks for talking to us, and it's a pleasure as always. Hopefully we'll be speaking to you on the podium at the end of the weekend.
Oh, well, fingers crossed, eh?
Cheers, thanks.
Cheers, now.
We've got Alan Schofield here and Steve Thomas. Third place in the championship, just a point behind the Birchells. You've got to fancy your chances this weekend, Alan.
Yeah, unfortunately they had a bit of an accident in Rijeka, so I hope they get well soon. So we have our best wishes to them. It's not a way to pass them on points, but the race goes on, so to speak. But yeah, we've got a good chance. We've had a good qualifying. We had a bit of a nightmare at Snetterton. The gearbox went in the second race. At the end we lost 5th and 6th gear. That's why we got caught, I think, really. And then also the suspension, we had a bit of a problem with that. Been back to the manufacturers, they've come back and give us a new set of settings, different spring, and it's paid dividends this morning qualifying. So we're a lot closer than we normally are.
And Steve, this is your local circuit, so things are looking good. Tell us about what it's like as a passenger around Oulton Park.
It's not too bad, actually. There's a few tight spots, especially through the chicanes where you have to be on your top form. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward and nice and quick.
And Alan, we noticed you've got a new paint scheme for this weekend. What's going on there then?
Well, the other one is outdated, I think, so we need to be seen. So, yeah, I think you can say that we've accomplished that bit.
Well, good luck to both of you for this weekend, and hopefully we'll see more of you as the day progresses.
Hopefully.
Cheers,
thank you very much.
So we're down in pit lane, ready for qualifying for the Euro F1 Sidecar Challenge. Can Tim Reeves get pole? Can the Scud and Steve Thomas make their way onto that front row as well? Or can Brian Pedder upset the apple cart? Let's have a look. We're going to get some reaction from down here in Gasoline Alley.
So as we head into qualification, unlike at rounds 1 and 2, we have normal timed qualification here, which sets positions for grid positions on race day. Now, unlike the Pembrey circuit in particular, Steve, which was basically a flat airfield circuit, lots of elevation changes here and hard work for the drivers and passengers.
Yeah, absolutely. We're on board here with Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson into Cascades. There's a lot more to think about here for the drivers and the passengers, but I must say, having spoken to the majority of them over the weekend so far, they all seem to absolutely love it round here.
Best wishes, of course, to Ben Birchall for a speedy recovery, but it does give all the rest of the crews added impetus and incentive because they can all see a chance of getting on the podium now.
Yep, it's an open opportunity for a lot of these. Oh, and there's a driver just going over the oil there at Shell Oil Bends. There's a big opportunity for a lot of these teams to get on the podium, not least number 15, as we saw there, Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas with their new paint scheme, the Illuminous Yellow and Black. A big thanks to them for that. That makes our lives an awful lot easier.
Well, they said they wanted to be noticed. They certainly will with that paint scheme. They brought it home actually in second position in qualification with a 1:44.8, just behind pole sitter. It is Tim Reeves and Greg Kluser with a 1:44.228. Andy Peach, the man on camera now, was in fourth position with a 1:45.6 time. So you can see straight away there's not a great deal between any of the teams around here, around the 2.69 mile Oulton Park circuit.
There's Barry James and Carl Morgan on that 15-year-old outfit, number 3. Look out for them on the white. There you see it just on the left as the Schofield and Thomas head out of Gasoline Alley again. Barry James and Carl Morgan having a good weekend so far. There's Reeves and Clues, Roger. They've pulled in after their fast lap as we're on board with Scott Laurie and James Neve. A big thanks to both of these guys for letting me and Steve Webster have a go out on their sidecar. Needless to say, it looks as though they're going considerably quicker than we were.
So now let's hear from championship leader and pole sitter Tim Reeves.
Tim, 1:44.2. Do you think that's good enough to take pole?
Yeah, I think if anyone goes quicker, I've still got probably half a second in it, yeah, but we've still got the overheating problem with the engine on, and I don't want to kill it for tomorrow, so I'm going to fit an oil cooler to it tonight. If someone goes quicker, then we'll have another go, but if not, I think there is half a second in there, yeah. But if it's all right like that, we'll leave it at that.
All right, thanks for talking to us.
Right, cheers.
So it was pole position for Reeves and Clues, with their second position there, Schofield and Thomas, as you can see, James and Morgan. And the rest of the row, Steve, talk us through.
Yeah, Peach and Richardson managed to get on row 2, and don't forget about Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. Rick Lawrence is back with his driver this weekend on the lime green number 49 machine. Big shouts as well to John Clark and Stuart Graham. They've had one of their best qualifyings ever. Also Gordon Shand and Kenny Edwards. As we look down the list there, number 74, the youngest team out there, Ben Bygrave and Ryan Charlwood. There's Roger Boddy and Lee Barrett, number 44. Roger Boddy, of course, as we said earlier, a man that makes all of this happen.
So with qualification completed, we're now looking forward to 2 fantastic races here from Oulton Park. We're going for a short break. Don't go away. Welcome back to Oulton Park as we prepare for race 1 of round 3 Eastern Airways Formula 1 Challenge. There is number 15, Alan Schofield, Steve Thomas there with their newly liveried outfit on second position on the grid behind series leader Tim Reeves and his not so new passenger now, Greg Kluser. Barry James and Carl Morgan, good qualification for them as well in third position before Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson in fourth position, the number 16.
Yeah, there we see the silver and red outfit, number 90, John Clark and Stuart Graham, the Northern Irish pairing. And then we've got number 72, Scott Lorry and James Neve. There we see Gordon Shand and Kenny Edwards enjoying a great weekend. Oh, and that looks like we've got a problem. Ian Guy, affectionately known as Yangy, is in pit lane. Maybe he'll be starting from pit lane then, Roger.
Well, we're ready for the start of the 8-lap race 1 here as they head off the line, and it is the newly liveried number 15 of Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas who go straight away into the lead, into Old Hall and around for the first of this race 1 here at Oulton Park.
Yeah, great start there also from John Clark and Stuart Graham, as we mentioned earlier. Barry James and Carl Morgan just being hung out to dry on the outside there as Reeves and Clues try to make up those positions from pole position.
Reeves and Kluser, well, they must see this as their big opportunity to pull out a gap at the head of this series now with the absence of the Birchall, so they're going to try and make the very most of it. But everybody else, as we said, sees this also as an opportunity for them to get themselves up on the leaderboard and get themselves some airtime as well. So it is still Schofield and Thomas leading round this first lap. Number 11 outfit going through there with the sidecar wheel just momentarily picking up. It is Simon Gilbert and John Allen. But meanwhile, back at the front, you can see the Reeves and Clues outfit desperate to get through at the front as Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, our onboard camera crew, in fourth position, trying to get up on the podium positions. The top 3 go up Clay Hill and under the bridge. And at the front, we can see it looks as though it is the outfits there, the pole sitters of Tim Reeves and Greg Kluser have sneaked through into the front as we thought they probably would. Now then, let's see, can everyone hang on to them or will they disappear into the distance?
Yeah, number 15 there, Alan Schofield, Steve Thomas. They just dropped a couple of places as they headed into Druids, so maybe we've got a problem there. Here we can see what a passenger has to do. Scott Lorry, James Neve, of course, the outfit that we went on, me and Steve Webster. James Neve doing a lot of work, very tall and leggy guy, but he's going to be very busy today. There they are on the outside, into Old Hall, the first corner. But at the front, it is still Reeves and Clues on that light blue machine.
Second position, though, it is the James and Morgan outfit. They are sticking with them, so credit to them. They're right on the tail there of Reeves and Cluser. And let's see what they can do. As back we come into the long, long turns here of the Oulton Park circuit. You can see earlier on we've had some oil been spilled with the dust down there. That's what the white lines on the circuit are, to mop up any errant fluids there and not cause us any problems later on in the day. The temperature's very, very high here, 27 degrees and getting hotter. Track temperatures well into the 40s, so the outfits are also experiencing some problems. We'll see whether that does anything as the day progresses.
I have to say, second place at the moment, number 3, the predominantly white machine with the trims of blue and orange, Barry James and Carl Morgan. That's that 15-year-old outfit we talked about at Snetterton. They are doing remarkably well to stick with Reeves and Clues at the front at the moment, so well done. There we see the lime green machine. Oh, and we've got a problem there. Number 60, that looks like Ben Holland and Lee Watson, just on the grass.
Thankfully, they're back in the race, undamaged, but at the front, it is still Reeves and Clues at the front as we expected, but they are being pushed all the way by the rest of the crew piling up behind them. It's not what we expected. We did think that maybe that Reeves and Clues would disappear all on their own, but look, they are under pressure. Greg Clues there working very hard as he gets over the back wheel for that long first turn as we head round Old Hall for yet another lap. 8 laps in this race, as we said, so a bit of a sprint race. There's no chance for tactics, certainly all out right the way through this one.
Yeah, there was Ian Drown and Michael Swift just going through. I tell you, one outfit worth keeping an eye on, the L&W racing machine of Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson. Charlie Richardson, there he is. We just caught the back of him in 4th position, working overtime on the back of that sidecar. Maybe they're having 1 or 2 problems. One thing we do know, Reeves and Clues have been suffering with overheating issues this weekend, as we look at Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas on the yellow and black machine, just going over Clay Hill now.
As Steve mentioned, overheating may be a problem, because don't forget the lead outfit there of Reeves and Cluser, and also Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas are running standard engines as per the rules of Grand Prix competition. Everybody else is allowed to have tuned engines, so that evens out the speed difference. But James Neve, as we can see there on the 72 outfit, left and right, it really is hard work around this Oulton Park circuit, as Steve Day can testify.
Yes, it is. It's very hard work on the arms as well. I was told to relax, but there's not a lot you can do about it when you're doing 120 plus miles an hour around a circuit like Oulton Park. Tim Reeves and Greg Clues, championship leaders then, number 77 with a predominantly light blue machine going into Lodge Corner now. There's Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas in 3rd, just being dropped off the back of the front 2 there, Roger.
Yeah, they're starting to creep away, and I have to say, it's big respect there for Barry James and Carl Morgan, because they are making life difficult for Reeves and Cluser. If they thought they were going to get an easy day of it today, well, they got another thought coming. Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson going round there. All debris in the circuit there, debris in the middle of the track. Let's hope that didn't do any damage, because they ran right over it there. Target fixation, I think, there kicked in, because we went right over the debris. This is where Charlie Richardson has to work extra hard there round the long left. But you can see straight away, James and Morgan still second. They could make a move at any time, Steve.
Yeah, they're really pushing Reeves and Clues here. It's fantastic to watch. And funnily enough, their battle is actually just pushing Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas on the bright yellow outfit a little bit closer. I fancy Morgan and James may have a look at maybe getting an overtaking manoeuvre stuck on pretty soon.
But it's an old racing adage. Catching is the leader is one thing, getting past is a whole different ball game. So let's see how that one pans out.
Yeah, there's Craig Chaplow and Dan Evanson, number 73 on the white outfit there. Number 23 we see going through there, Bill Davey and Grant Hunter.
So you can see battles going on right the way down through the field here. Both races on the Saturday here on the same day, unlike in previous rounds where we've had a weekend event. But back at the front, it is the same order, and Greg Cluser is having to work very hard on the outfit of the 77. As you can see, they're not holding back at all, because they've been pushed really hard by James and Morgan, still there in 2nd.
Gordon Shand and Kenny Edwards just being pushed there by Ben Bygrave and Ryan Charwood. There's 75, Brian Pedder and Rod Stedme, who we spoke to earlier.
Down through Lodge, up over Deers Leap, and another lap clicked off. Tyres breaking traction there. The sound of the tyres screeching as they go around the turns. That's what we love about sidecars. It's all action on these things. Right the way through the order. Back at the front, though, it is still there, but in 3rd place, you can see it is Alan Schofield, Steve Thomas there in camera, the number 15 outfit. They are getting closer.
They are. It's nice to see number 19 Ian Guy and Carol McBride. They did make it out on circuit, so maybe looks like they're a lap or 2 behind, but at least they're getting some track time. Barry James and Carl Morgan are getting ever closer to Tim Reeves and Greg Clues now as the laps tick by.
Reeves and Cluser, don't forget the only Honda engined outfit in the field there, the remainder mainly on Suzuki's. So Honda's leading at the moment, all LCR chassis there in the top order as well as we go through.
Just saw Phil Bell and Ashley Hawes going through on the light blue. Oh, and number 11 there, Simon Gilbert and John Allen just taking a shortcut.
Well, that looks so there. Race 1 is run, but they'll be back with us in race 2, I'm sure. But back at the front, the leaders have stretched out just a tad from Schofield and Thomas again. So the race is going to go down to these two, that's for sure, as we head into the last couple of laps now. Barry James, Carl Morgan, they have been stuck like glue to the back of Reeves and Cluser for the whole of this race, and they are now looking to make a move as we come to the conclusion of this first 8-lap race.
Yeah, it's just about where they're going to make their overtaking manoeuvre here, Roger. It's a tight and twisty circuit, but there's only a few places where an opportunity is going to be really handed to them. And of course, we already know how competitive Tim Reeves is around this place. Big shout out as well to number 49, the lime green outfit of Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. It looks as though they've made their way up into the top 5. I think they're in 4th at the moment.
Well, we saw what happened at Snetterton when there was a chance for the lead right at the end of the race with the Birchells and Reeves and Cluser outfits, and when the Birchells ended upside down, it looks as though it's going to have to be a last gasp braking manoeuvre for James and Morgan if they're going to get through. They pushed hard all race, but they're not quite close enough at the moment. Will they be able to dive in at the end? And don't forget, Alan Schofield, Steve Thomas are there ready to pick up the pieces should anything happen at the front. So any one of these three could pick up the lead, but it looks as though our podium sitters are pretty well set at the moment. But in what order? Who knows?
Well, there you can see the passenger wheel just slightly lifting off the ground there. Ben Bygrave and Ryan Charlwood just going through. Number 74 are probably our youngest team out there. Great to see the sidecars going around. Oh, and that's Brian Pedder and Rod Stedman. They've pulled out of the race, number 75. Oh, that's a shame.
Well, that was commentator's Kirsty. We have to put that one down to you with your interview and saying good luck to them. We have to put that down.
Always the way.
It's always the way. Back at the front, though, as you can see, Tim Reeves and Greg Cluser just maintaining station with that crucial gap, which is not allowing James and Morgan to actually have a dive inside of them at the moment. But the race is coming to an end, and as we know, the red mist will start to go. We'll see what happens as we're counting down towards the end of the race. Back on board, though, Scott Laurie and James Neave still working away hard on the 72 outfit. You can see disappears out of camera shot as he gets over the left-hand side of the outfit. Shortly, he'll be back over again. Tucks himself down behind the bubble there because the wind blast, Steve, is huge, isn't it?
It is, yeah, the G-force as well. Also, when the sidecars go over the curbs, they use all of the curb, and it really, you do come crashing down. I've got bruises all the way up my ribs on the right-hand side, so they really do have to work. It's amazing what they have to do. I don't envy them going at this speed, though.
Poor old passengers, they never get any thanks, but they always get all the blame should things go wrong. So it's a tough life. If anybody fancies having a go at it, I'm sure that just turn up and we'll be pleased to welcome you in if you do. But you can see how hard he's working here. There we go, head tucked down now. You can hear the engine revs rise in the background as we go to peak revs. And there they are, right on through the 72 outfit. You can see for yourself there how much work is being maintained, and in these hot conditions as well.
Yeah, they're just behind Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, who have made headway. I thought they were in 4th there. It looks like they may be in 5th. Here's Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson. Oh, look at this. Reeves and Clues have broken out. Where's Barry James and Carl Morgan? Yeah, they've just managed to stretch that advantage at the front there.
Well, that's the mark of a true champion. You can see just when it mattered, they've pulled out. The yellow flag goes out for the last lap. And you can see straight away Reeves and Cluser have that crucial gap at the front. It's only a matter of less than a second, but it's enough to maintain around the rest of the circuit there, and it looks like they may bring in another victory here. Race victory number 5, should they pull it off.
John Clark and Stuart Graham going through again, but it does look like Reeves and Cluser have got this one sewn up. Provided there was no mistakes, Barry James and Carl Morgan are not giving up. Maybe they fancy a last-ditch attempt into the final corner at Lodge.
It looks so, Barry James, maybe the tyres are starting to go off just a tad because they're getting a little bit loose and squirrely, or is it that they're trying that much harder? They can't relax because Alan Schofield, Steve Thomas are still there on that 15 outfit in 3rd place. Just as they have been for the majority of this race. These three have really been on a hectic pace and have put on a classic display for us here. So Tim Reeves, Greg Cluser, looking to bring it home again and extend their lead at the top of the championship after this race 1.
Yeah, there's number 8 Phil Bell and Ashley Hawes going through there. Bell Racing, they're looking like they might just get a decent top 6 or 7 finish here.
So as we come down under the bridge for the last time there, you can see the gap is extended even more now for Tim Reeves at the front. Barry James looks to be settled into second position. For the last time we come up through...
Barry James and Carl Morgan, I think, have just gone off circuit there. I'm not sure what's happened, but Reeves and Clues are going to cross the line. Where is Barry James and Carl Morgan?
Well, we just saw a cloud of dust there as they went round the final turn, round Lodge. Let's see what happens, because it happened just off camera there. There was a cloud of dust. Maybe they disappeared out. Let's have a look now. And in fact, they did disappear, because second place is Schofield and Thomas, with Roger Lovelock bringing it home in third place. The current British champions, James and Morgan, in fourth. Andy Peach is in fifth place and Bell in sixth. But there we go, drama right down to the end on the last turn of that race. 20th position is the Rinn and Clark number 22 outfit on the Suzuki.
Yeah, it looks like James and Morgan then managed to rejoin the circuit. Just missed out on a podium. That's a terrible shame. They were looking good for 20 points there.
So our top 3 were Tim Reeves, Alan Schofield and Roger Lovelock.
Winners of race 1, Tim Reeves and Greg Clues. Pretty hot conditions out there. How did you find it, Tim?
Yeah, obviously we had a real hard race in the last week in Croatia, so I was fine. We got a few issues with the bike running a bit hot, but the boys are going good, aren't they? Young Barry James is on it, and Scud rode bloody well, and yeah, it was hard work, but it's good, isn't it? It's really good to have to really fight for a win, and I'm really enjoying it, and the 2 lads are riding real good, and yeah, I hope we can have some more of it.
Gregory, très bien.
Yeah, I'm very happy just after the winning race at Croatia, and it's good point for the championship British. Thank you, everybody.
So, anyone to thank at all, Tim?
Yeah, just thanks to everyone who helps me. They all know who they are, and we wouldn't be without all their backing, and yeah, hopefully we can carry on the season and get in the championship.
Good luck for race 2.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Second place in the Eastern Airways UK F1 sidecar race, Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas. Scud, good race out there, hot conditions.
Oh, very hot, but very good racing. The first couple of laps were very intimidating and good close racing with Tim. Fantastic. And then we just went wide in Druids, and Barry James came through. He had a really good ride, so good on him. And then after that, we just try and keep with him. You know.
And Steve, next race, I would imagine the aim is to try and keep with Tim Reeves and see if you can maybe pinch that win.
Yeah, hopefully. We had a brand new tyre on for that race, so we had to try and bed it in as quick as possible. So it went off a little bit midway through. Hopefully it'll come back to us and we'll have a good one next time else.
Well done to both of you, and we'll see you for race 2.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thanks.
Third place, Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, current British champions. Good race out there. Obviously, slightly fortuitous to be on the podium, but nevertheless, one of your best races so far this season.
Yeah, definitely. We sort of struggled this year, but it's come together. Bit of luck on the last lap. Barry James spun off and gave us a third place, but that's racing, isn't it? So, yeah, we took it, and we're pleased with it.
I understand when you went to rejoin circuit, Rick, you were a little bit concerned about where Barry James and Carl Morgan were.
I was concerned to start with, but I could see he took a look, and he's a fair rider. He let us come through, so yeah, it was just a fraction there when you're travelling at speed. It can come up quite surprisingly quickly. So yeah, fair play.
Well done to both of you, and hopefully we'll see you up here again soon.
Thank you very much.
I hope so too.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.
So as the spectators enjoy the warm sunshine, we're going for a very short break. Join us again for race 2. Back to Oulton Park, race 2 ready to go and on the line. Now, as we suspected, Steve, there were some overheating problems in race 1, not least with the winning outfit of Tim Reeves. And apparently they've changed all the fluids and in fact even drilled some extra holes in the fairing to allow some airflow.
Yeah, that Honda LCR has been running pretty hot, but then the temperature here is about 27, 28 at the moment. There's Barry James and Carl Morgan, who had an excellent first race, of course, but on that last corner just slipped off and dropped back to 4th. There's the Northern Irish team of John Clark and Stuart Graham, Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. There's Ian Guy and Cal McBride. Of course, no Birchells here this weekend, Roger, after that incident, as we said earlier.
And our best wishes go to Ben for a speedy recovery. But the rest of the outfits have stepped up to the plate and are looking to take advantage of their absence. At the moment, it is Reeves and Cluser who have extended their lead in the championship to 47 points as we're away at the start of race 2. And again, it is the bright yellow outfit, number 15 of Scud Schofield and Steve Thomas, who head into the first turn. The rest of the pack stream through, and at the moment it looks as though everyone's cleanly through. 8 laps, as we said.
Well, look at that start for John Clark and Stuart Graham there, number 90. From 6 on the grid, they've made it through to second position. Fantastic stuff.
And here at Oulton Park, the start is crucial because there aren't many overtaking places, that's for sure. On board, Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson, yet again on the number 16 outfit. We're getting fantastic on-board camera shots here from them as they head round the pack. Currently in 6th position, but at the front, Schofield and Thomas, it is second position though. It is first race leader, championship leader, Tim Reeves, Greg Cluser. Well, we'll see whether the modifications they made for the outfit are going to make any difference or not. As we say, Honda engine, the LCR for them, Suzuki for everybody else. 2 standard engines, bikes 1 and 2, Steve.
Yes, they are. 77, of course, Tim Reeves, Greg Cluse, the leaders of the championship, both on standard machinery. The bright yellow outfit of Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas just coming under a bit of pressure there as they head up into Clay Hill.
Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson again we're watching, but at the head of the field we think there's probably going to be a move soon. Look how close the action is at the moment. Under the bridge we go. Schofield and Thomas under a lot of pressure now from Reeves and Cluser on the 77. There's a move coming up, we think now. Can they cut across? No, they're going the long way round there. Schofield and Thomas hold the tight inside line as we go through Old Hall and complete the first lap. This is going to be a cracker.
It is, yeah. Good stuff from number 49, the lime green machine, Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. There they are. They've made a much better start this time. Maybe they could feature once more in the top 3. Schofield and Thomas, it is them that lead, followed by Reeves and Clues, and then it's Barry James and Carl Morgan.
James and Morgan, another good start for them in 3rd place. Don't forget, they pushed Reeves and Cluser the whole way through until that last corner mistake in race 1. Andy Peach desperate to get through as he tries to dive down the inside, but goes offline slightly. Coming round the turn, you can see the dust down. We've had some spillages during the course of the day, but thankfully not causing any problems.
Yeah, they're doing all they can to get past Phil Bell and Ashley Hawes as they exit Shell Oils and make their way into Folkestones. And then after that is the Hilltop. Here we go through right and left, taking all the curve with you. Here we go up to the Hilltop. Reeves and Clues have got into the lead then, ahead of Schofield and Thomas. Barry James and Carl Morgan 3rd, and now it is Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence up to 4th.
Reeves and Cluser, they come round in the lead there. We are on lap 3 at the moment, and they are putting the hammer down straight away. As you can see at the front, they're starting to stretch away, courtesy of the fastest lap of the weekend with a 1:43.7 second lap time. So Reeves and Cluser showing us why they are one of the contenders for World Championship honours, some of the best riders in the world at the head of this field. And look at the gap they've put out. They really have streamed out on that lap, Steve.
Yeah, they have, and this is why they're leading the championship. They've been absolutely nothing short of superb all year so far. Andy Peach, the number 16, we've had a few on boards with him. He just cannot get past Bell and Hawes at the moment.
But we got Barry James and Carl Morgan having a look down the inside of Scud Schofield. Not making it this time, not quite got enough of the racing line. But at the front you can see Reeves and Cluser still pushing those laps as they try to stretch away at the front. But all of a sudden now we got Barry James. He is under pressure himself because Roger Lovelock, current British champion on that green number 49 outfit, is pushing hard in 4th place.
Yeah, they're doing very well as Reeves and Clues make their way into that banked Shell Oils. In 2nd there, Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas on the luminous yellow and black machine. Steve Thomas keeps on having a look over his shoulder, and rightly so, because this battle for 2nd is really hotting up.
You can see the benefit of a good start in Sidecar racing. That's exactly what Schofield and Thomas got on the bright green outfit in 2nd position. And straight away, they can sit there and they are in control. But at the front, Tim Reeves, Greg Cluser, as we expected, are starting to stretch away even more at the moment. They can't afford to relax, of course, but they are a class act and looking very good. 47 points at the head of the championship coming into this race, so they are looking to extend that even more. And don't forget, take advantage of the fact that the Birchells, their main championship rivals, aren't here this weekend. But look at this for third position. Second, third and fourth all in a row as they go through there. It is Schofield, Thomas, James, Morgan and Roger Lovelock on the green outfit. They're keeping an eye on him because they seem to be the ones on the charge at the moment. There they go through our camera shot round round Old Hall, the first time there on that bright green outfit. They really are charging, Steve.
They are, as they head down into Cascades. There's Ian Guy and Carol McBride, one of the female passengers here this weekend. And it looks as though they've got off to a much better start. Into the first corner goes Rod Robinson, number 10, and Roy Farmer. And there's number 22, David Rinn and Stuart Clark.
So as the field streams through, their battles going everywhere. Reeves and Clues are still at the front. They will be heading off to the Saxon Ring for the next round of the World Championship events, where they will be looking to continue their good run of form at the moment. Of course, the Birchells will be very lucky if they attend that one. It's very unlikely. So again, Reeves and Clues will be looking to take advantage of that one.
Yeah, that scrap for second is really going to go down to the wire. Reeves and Clues then, 47-point advantage. That is a massive lead in the championship when you think of the points that are available. Schofield and Thomas then in second place on the bright yellow machine. Then it's Barry James and Carl Morgan, number 3 on the white machine. And then the green outfit, number 49, Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence.
Completely plain outfit there of Roger Lovelock, minus of any sponsors logos there, so completely privateer outfit as we see the number 73 going through.
Yeah, that is Craig Chaplow and Dan Evanson. And Reeves and Clues then making their way into Lodge Corner once more. And Barry James and Carl Morgan having a look up the inside, and they've made it stick. So they move up into second position on that 15-year-old outfit. Great stuff from them.
Alan Schofield just left the smallest of gaps, and that was all it took for Barry James to go through. James having a cracking weekend racing here so far. So he goes through into second position. Don't forget, he was second for most of the race in race 1, right until that small mistake on the last turn, on the last lap of that race 1, when he went off the circuit and eventually came home in a cloud of dust that got back on for 4th position. So now, the order just as it was in race 1. Reeves and Clues are at the front, and Barry James and Carl Morgan now through into second position. But Reeves and Clues are, well, as we say, the bike was overheating in race 1. They changed the fluids, they drilled extra ventilation holes in it. It looks to be holding up at the moment, but I'll tell you what, Scud Schofield and Steve Thomas haven't given up on that position at the moment. The 15 outfit is still pushing hard to get back into second. And check out Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence on the green outfit, because they're back in the mix as well. They now go through into third place. Schofield and Thomas go second. It's all changed. Schofield, Thomas go second. Lovelock and Lawrence now head up to third place as Barry James and Carl Morgan suddenly go back to 4th.
Well, these are the leaders. Out front by quite a distance, number 77, Tim Reeves, former world champion, and his French teammate Gregory Clues on board with Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson into the final corner. This is Lodge, and then up into Deers Leap. Very fast kink left-hander onto the start-finish straight. And Barry James and Carl Morgan just being dropped into the clutches, possibly, of Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, as we see number 90, John Clark and Stuart Graham going through the first corner.
So our onboard cameraman there of Andy Peach, check him out in 5th position at the moment. But Barry James and Carl Morgan, better look out, because they will have company very soon. Possibly they got a problem. Maybe it is overheating for them. Maybe it's tyres, not sure. But suddenly, drama, because our race leaders, Tim Reeves, Greg Clues, hand up for them. They have a problem. They were way out on their own. Everything was in control, but suddenly they have a problem. Now, the outfit is still running, so really, they're obviously out of the race because Greg Clues has got his hand up. They're still leading at the moment, but it looks as though they're going to pull out, or are they? They're back in again. So an intermittent problem. Is it electrical? Is it fuel? Let's see, because suddenly they're back on the game again. They had their hand up and it looked as though their race was up, and now suddenly they're back in.
Well, it just shows you how big their lead was, because they pretty much slowed down and they're still leading nevertheless. And and hang on a second though. No, there's definitely a problem. They're out. Schofield and Thomas go through. Lovelock and Lawrence also go through. And I think it's the end of the race here for Reeves and Clues, Roger.
Yeah, there's definitely spluttering going on that Honda engine at the moment. Lap 6 it is out of the 8, and you can see they're desperately trying to keep going, but they are effectively out of the race, and as Andy Peach now goes through as well. So Reeves and Kluser, well, you would have bet your mortgage on them winning this race too and extending their lead in the championship even more. Suddenly, though, they're out of it. You really can't count on anything in this game.
No, you can't. 47 points was their advantage. That's going to be completely dropped down now if things stay as they are. This now means, of course, a great opportunity for these two outfits. Alan Schofield, Steve Thomas on the bright yellow outfit, and of course Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence are going for the win.
Well, the brightest two outfits in the race, sitting 1 and 2 at the moment. And really, would you have predicted this at the start of the day's racing? Fantastic opportunity for these two to get some good points on the board as we now head into the last 2 laps of this second and final race of the day here at Oulton Park. Third place is still Barry James, Carl Morgan at the moment. Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson with a clear track in front of them now, so they can get some good lap times in as they try and make up an extra position. But you can see a long gap in front, but at the front of the race, this really could go down to the wire. Down the inside, Roger Lovelock has a look, but Alan Schofield, wily old fox that he is, just cuts across the front and hangs on to the lead. They're not going to give this one up lightly, that's for sure. Last lap. This is going to get exciting down the inside.
You can't pass there. I do not believe how they've managed to make that stick through first corner.
Well, Schofield and Thomas taken completely unawares as we went round Old Hall there, and more drama as off track we go in a big cloud of dust. Can't quite see who that is at the moment.
I think that's John Clark and Stuart Graham there, Roger, and that was the battle for third, because that is also hotting up. This last lap is going to be epic. There's Reeves and Clues. They've pulled off circuit now. All they can do is spectate. Who's going to get the 25 points? Who's going to be on the podium?
It's a damaged fuel pump, apparently. That is the problem on the Reeves and Clues outfit. 88 out as well, which is the Nickel and Pride outfit. But this is the battle we want to see for the lead. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, the current British champions, back together now on that 49 unsponsored green outfit, are at the head of the field, and how happy will they be to take their first victory of the season? We're on the last lap. Can they hang on to that, or can Scud Schofield and Steve Thomas get back in? Let's check them out. Well, Reeves and Kluser, spectators can only watch as a guaranteed 25 points disappear, but it is a victory, the first one of the season for Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, and how happy are they?
Now, it is an absolutely fantastic performance, nothing short of epic. How on earth they won that? Well, it was just pure brilliant driving from Roger Lovelock, great passengering. An attempt of a handstand that went wrong as well as they go into pit lane. Oh, he's going to do it this time. He makes it stick. The headstand there from Rick Lawrence. Well, that's absolutely spectacular.
There's our finishing order in race 2. Lovelock and Lawrence, brilliant win for them as kind of Schofield and Thomas. James and Morgan bring it home for third position to back up fourth in race 1. Pedder and Stebbin fourth. Andy Peach is in 5th place, and Bell and Horse in 6th. Further down the order, Roger Body is in 15th position there, and our final point scorer, Riddell and McCartney on the Yamaha, in 20th position.
Yeah, good to see Ian Guy and Carol McBride there, making their way up to 12th after their non-starter, as it were, in race 1.
So there we have it, race 2 completed, and the podium not what we expected it to be, but fantastic. Topped, of course, by Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence. Over to Steve to talk to our top 3 teams.
Third place, Barry James and Carl Morgan. A frustrating weekend in some aspects, but a great weekend on the podium again.
Yeah, it was a bad start to the weekend. It just went wrong in the last corner at last lap, last race, and this one, brakes went halfway through. Luckily they come back at the end and managed to claw it back to third somehow.
And Carl, the heat's been a real problem for a lot of people. Have the bikes been overheating as well or not?
We've been fairly lucky with our bike, but there's a fair few out there that have been struggling with overheating problems. Not just that, just as an aspect of passengering, it was just really hot. You get back in, drink, try and cool down, but it's just really hot.
Well, for the outfit that you've got, it's a real superb effort, so well done to both of you, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Second place, Alan Schofield and Steve Thomas. A great effort from both of you. Last lap, I thought you might just get it, but not to be this time.
No, yet again, second, never mind. Second's better than third, I suppose, at the end. Yeah, towards the end, though, a really hot day. I was getting tired, and so was the bike, really. But yeah, it was all right. Good racing, and good to see a new winner on the podium.
Steve, you must have seen Tim Reeves drop out. Did you think to yourself that now's it's our opportunity to get the win?
Yeah, I thought we had a decent chance, but then Roger come past on the brakes after the start and finish, and he just pulled a little bit too much on us, and then it was all over really from that point. We were exhausted really, and the tyres were on the way out and that, so luckily enough we got the second. We're happy with that for now.
Well, it's obviously good for the championship, so well done to both of you. We'll see you at the next round at Cadwell.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
New winners on the podium, always nice to see. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, a fabulous race. And when Tim Reeves went out, you must have thought all your Christmases had come at once.
Well, we were clapping, yeah, I must admit. I wasn't too sure what lap we were on, so, I mean, he could have been crossing the line on the last lap, but I think there was another 2 laps to go afterwards. And, yeah, Lady Luck was on our side again, but we were chasing for second place at that time, and which then put us up to second, and then we sort of steamed off and tried to take the win, which we did, which was good.
On the last lap, you were behind Schofield and Thomas. Did you, as a passenger, think or know that Roger was going to have a go on the last lap?
Yeah, we've had a few dices with Scud before, and I thought, yeah, we're going for the win here. And all I'd like to say is thanks to Roger. I wasn't riding this year. He rang me up about 4 weeks ago, said, you better get back on, and cleared it my little boy, and brilliant, well chuffed.
Well done to both of you. It's great to see you on top step, and we'd like to see you here again soon.
We'll be back at Cadwell, definitely. Yeah.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers, thanks for that.
So the reunited team head the day, but the championship table still headed by Tim Reeves, but now by 27 points from Schofield and Thomas. The Birchells still in third at the moment. Andy Peach is in fourth place and James and Morgan in fifth. As we head further down now, Holland and Watson 13th, Lambert and Schofield 14th. In 19th, we have Roger Body and Barrett on the Suzuki on 7 points. And in 20th is Parkinson and Tritton also on 7. So red hot temperatures and even hotter racing here at Oulton Park as we look forward to round 4 at Cadwell Park. We hope you can join us here. My thanks to Action Man Steve Day and myself, Roger Warren. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you for round 4.